All right, what's going on, everybody? It is Slider. We are in here in studio. And the reason we're in studio with the Almas today is because we were actually supposed to go to their concert at the Looney Bin, and it got canceled, unfortunately, by a sickness from another band. So they are going to Michigan, right? You all are going heading to Michigan. And they decided to stop in the studio, and we're going to talk to them and find out all about them and what they got going on, and just see what's happening with them. So let them introduce themselves, and we'll take it from there.
Oh no. My name is Zay, aka Big Rig. I am quiet. I am a drummer and / lighting engineer.
Right. I'm Frank Slifka. I am the guitarist and manager for the band.
The everything guy.
The boss.
My name is Crystal Teglin. I'm vocals and I do a lot of the booking as well.
My name is Chris. I play bass and I do a lot of booking. Shut up.
I feel like this is a part where we just add on. We're not just musicians.
Yeah.
We're important.
Yeah. We're all important.
My name is Josh Sikowski. I play guitar and I'm pretty lame. Yeah, pretty boring.
Yeah. So everybody else has a job other than and you just play guitar.
No, I help with a bit of everything.
A bit of everything.
Yeah.
He wears cool shades.
Oh yeah? On stage?
Yeah.
No,
as cool as mine.
just in the van.
Not as cool as yours? Oh, because your future's so bright?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're playing in a band, man.
Yeah, it's not right. Never mind.
Yeah.
So now we were talking before we started. There's a few new of you. I've known you for a while on Facebook. I've known you through music for quite some time. When did you come on board with the Almas?
So last October was the 2-year mark. So 2017, I came into the band at the end of the year when their original vocalist left. Mm-hmm. And then within 3 months, we put out our album. And since then, it's been like go since. So I came on board for this band at that point. 6 months before was when I started in a first band of mine. But since before that, I was doing a lot of like band promotion and I was doing like acting on a TV show. So that's how I got into the music scene and actually met Frank and Zay, who are the reasons that I'm now in this band.
Okay, yeah, because I think we met at another show with your older band, and I think,
Probably.
and then I think we just kept in touch through Facebook and social media, and but yeah, because you came into the band 2 years ago, and was before I got a chance to interview you with them.
Yeah.
So it's been quite a while, but like I said,
It's been some time, yeah.
Yeah, it's been some time. So who's the newest guys here? Who's new? You 2 years?
That's
a complicated question.
That is very complicated because we've had members like come in and leave and come back to the band just because of life issues and things like that.
Right.
I think it depends. I think it's probably Chris. Chris is the newest member, but by like
Just by
a year.
added.
Yeah, ain't that right, Chris? I think by
He's our baby.
technically he's the newest.
He's the newest
the
guy.
newest, yes.
Yeah, but you guys been together for a while.
Right.
I mean, the Almas. I know the Almas have been together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They've been
this,
together for a
this
while.
group has known each other for years before the Almas was even formed.
Right.
So, like, we've all, like, somehow known each other. Like, Josh was in a different band and played with, like, Frank and Zay in a different band as well, like, years before.
And Chris and I in a band before that.
Yeah. So, we've all either played together or just known each other before.
Well, the music scene is kind of a family-oriented thing. I mean, we all know, people that have been in bands, other, like I said, with you and other bands, and other people been in other bands. So it's like if one band says, you know what, just can't do it anymore, family issues, like you said, then there's another band that'll pick them right up, and it just keeps moving forward. I mean, so it's good to have, not just contacts, but friends in the industry that said, you know what, hey, we need a guitar player. You want to come? And you're like, okay, cool. I ain't doing nothing but sitting on my ass. I was going to play guitar.
Exactly.
Yeah. And sadly, this band is awful with drummers.
Oh,
so
really?
Keeping drummers is one of the hardest things I think for us. Like a couple months ago, our drummer he was in the band for about a year. He ended up leaving and actually moving to a different part of the country. So luckily he's still playing and all of that. But we were just like, oh, damn, we need a drummer now because we're going on tour. And so luckily, like we know so many people, and Zay's one of the original drummers too. So he actually wrote all of our recorded music.
Zay was there for the first album of the Almas.
Oh, so it was easy for you to come in
and he's never really left the band. He quit drumming for the band, but he also went to lighting for us. So he became our lighting engineer and things like that. So he's always been around. He's been there every single step of the way of the Almas for the past 4 years. So you really didn't have
to learn anything. You just knew it. You just played with lights for a while.
Just hopped on
the
kit.
Pretty much.
He was like, just give me sticks.
But also in that time too, he was able to really figure out some of our newer songs that we were writing with our other drummer. Okay. So he was at our shows doing our lights, but also he was probably making mental notes in his head, like, you know, these are these new songs and I know how to do them on lights. And then when he came back to do drums for us, he already knew the songs to an extent. Yeah. Right. So it was pretty easy for him to jump back into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then we, when our other drummer left, we were in the midst of starting to write a new album. And Zay was there during some of that new writing process. So we actually finished up a song just yesterday, and we're playing it on tour.
Really?
Yeah, and so
we're gonna drop it tonight, but unfortunately, no shows.
We're using this tour to test out some of the new songs, see how they go before we go in the studio and record once we get off the tour.
Well, shit, that would have been great. We would have been there.
I know.
We could have had the very first, review of your new show or the new song.
Yeah.
Oh man, we could have.
They screwed up. They screwed up.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what happened. I know I got a text saying he was sick.
Yep.
And then it just kind of for 3 hours I was trying to figure stuff out because I kept texting, emailing back and forth, and I was talking.
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. We haven't been told anything yet.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like, I hope we're playing still, but
and then you guys were still in Wisconsin when you got the news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were kind of just hanging out, just waiting. Like, are we gonna hear about anything? Or we just went to a music shop and we're just hanging out. So,
then we just decided we're gonna just head straight to Michigan and that's it.
And
we're like, hey, if we can stop and do an interview, we'll do it.
Why not?
Why
not? I mean, we just moved in the house right before Christmas, and one of the reasons was because of enough rooms for my daughter, her boyfriend, and their kid, my grandson, and then we have enough rooms upstairs where Julie has her office. And then I have this down here, which is huge because I have this table and the table behind me.
This is nice.
Pretty,
it's a good setup.
It's a good setup.
This is sick.
It was perfect.
So
it was just perfect, and it kind of just fell in our lap. And we were like, it was funny because it was on a Sunday morning, and we got a call, and I said, "Oh, let me call you back." And she was sitting next to me, and I'm like, "The house at Commodore just got a bid. What do you want to do?" So it was kind of a very quick process on getting, which was because then we moved in, we got the studio going and everything, and it was perfect. It was just awesome. A perfect situation that we fell into.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
So now you were the drummer, and then you were the lighting person, and now you're the drummer again. What made you stop and just want to do lighting and not continue with the drumming part?
Do you want me to grab that?
If you want to, go ahead.
Well, I did have a lot of mental issues going on that I had to take care of, and drumming just being in a band wasn't really helping it at all. So I had to go take care of family issues and mental issues, but I didn't want to leave the band. Yeah. I still believed in all my family, so shut up. You're embarrassing me. So I don't know. I really liked lights. I always enjoyed that kind of stuff, and so I decided, hey, might as well learn something new, right? Still be useful. So and then when this happened, kind of slowly as started to work myself out again. I don't know, like a kind of fire grew in me. So I wanted to try out getting back on the drums again, and it just pretty much came naturally, and almost like became better. So
when we were gone on last tour, you were trying out with other bands, and you were playing with other bands when we were gone the last time.
Yeah.
So he.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you never really quit. You just kind of.
Took a hiatus.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Took a hiatus to get your mind straight, and then there's nothing wrong with it. Hey, I get your shit together.
yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, every once in a while we got to do that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. And sometimes you do it, and you come back, and you're stronger than ever.
Yeah.
Is my dog over there by you?
Yeah, he was playing with my foot. I wasn't too into that.
No. Don't like the whole dog foot fetish thing.
No. I mean, I have a foot fetish, but
You learn something new every day.
A little too much.
You heard it here first.
Ladies. No.
And gentlemen.
Hey, who's ever foot's up?
yeah.
So, okay, let's go. I'm going to go around the table and ask everybody, what was your influence to get into music? What made you want to start?
Oh man, influence. Well, to be honest, like I don't know, since the day came to this earth mistakenly. Yeah. I don't know, like I've always kind of enjoyed the drums. I always enjoyed the drums a lot, and I think what got me really into it was Metallica Saint Anger. Okay. I love the way the snare sounded and everything. So come on, it's the best ever. Well,
you like it because you get to hit things. Let's be honest. Like,
don't mind them. Don't.
That's the best sounding garbage can I've ever heard.
Thank you.
like there's a 4-piece drums because there's 4 members that he wants to beat on.
Yeah. So I mean, I like the high end, like it was really crisp, and then I discovered Korn, which they're my favorite band of all time. And I don't know, I never really had like, a lot of people are into, John Bonham or Buddy Rich. I never really had an idol like that. I just kind of listened to a bit of everything and just kind of created. So I don't know. I just was really into drums like the first time I heard them.
Okay. So what about you? What made you get into music?
Girls.
No.
But really, though.
Actually,
It's partially true.
it's actually true.
It's true.
But no, it was. I was listening to music in my basement in high school, and I was just downloading stuff off of like LimeWire and all that kind of stuff. And I came across some AC/DC, and I was just jamming out to it, and I just realized I was like rocking out in my basement, like standing up, going crazy. I'm like, I love how that feels.
Yeah.
Like I want to do that, and I want to know how and why I felt like that, and I want to recreate that, and that's kind of what started driving it. Then as years passed, I kind of realized the influence music has had on me since my childhood, from my dad listening to oldies, rock and roll, and things like that. It kind of all came full circle.
If you say oldies from the 70s, I'm going to have to look across this table and slap you.
Oh, no. No.
oldies from the 70s.
Oh, no. It's old, like oldies from like the 50s, 60s,
Okay.
that kind of stuff. And the reason I started playing guitar, though, there was a girl that I wanted to date, but she was in the band, like band guys.
Oh.
And it kind of dawned on me, I'm like, I like rock and roll. I like this stuff.
I like girls.
And I like girls, so... And there was a music store right across from the high school I was going to, and they had this beautiful blue guitar. And I was like, I want that. That's my in.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I started picking up, and I loved it ever since then, and haven't stopped. So it's
And he
kind of...
still has that guitar.
Yeah,
to
I
this
still
day.
play that
Do you
guitar.
really?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
still
play it.
practices on it.
I
That
practice
is
with it.
cool.
Yep. Most of my inspiration comes from that original guitar. When I have a riff or something, that's the one I go to.
Okay.
And then I switch to the other ones. But yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
Mine's a little, I don't know. So my earliest memory of me singing was One Way or Another by Blondie in my booster seat in the back seat of my car. My mom says I was like 4 years old at the time, so I would do that. And in order to get like myself and my sister to clean the house, she would put on like a live AC/DC from like them in like Australia or whatever, and we would be like waxing the table, and I'd be like rocking out, head bangs. So like it was just like music in general, like Frank. It made me feel good, and like I loved to sing, and my dad always yelled at me because I'd be so loud in the shower and all of this, but really it was just when I was on the TV show that I was on, interviewing bands and promoting shows, putting on concerts and like to host them for bands and stuff like that. I was just like, I like this, but it's not enough. It wasn't enough for me. Yeah. And I had a chance to audition for a band that I was really nervous to, but I got shoved into it, and unfortunately it didn't work out, but also fortunately enough, I was able to come into the Almas. So that's really where my story was. It's just like I always enjoyed it, and then when I just kind of had to step up the ladder. Okay. So you gotta lean in for this.
So for mine, basically, I had a bunch of friends in high school that were really into like that were playing in bands, and I wanted to jam with them. And I grew up listening to Iron Maiden, AC/DC, a bunch of hard rock and punk rock bands, and it just kind of grew from there. Bands for many years, and Frank for many years. And
I invited you to my show in high school.
Yeah, he invited me to his show.
Really?
Yeah, he was playing a talent show. He invited me to it. I was like, I don't know. I ended up going. It was cool. Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah. And then started a band together.
Yeah.
Is history.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you've known each other for quite some time.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I know him the longest. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, buddy.
I think some of my earliest memories were probably my dad was a musician growing up too, and he hadn't played much, and then one day he brought out his acoustic guitar, and he started to play Norwegian Wood for me every single night, sing me to sleep pretty much.
Really?
And so I don't know, maybe it's just something that just clicked in me there, but farther on down the line, I think I was about 8 years old, I went away to summer camp for the first time. And I was scared shitless. I was away from my parents for 2 whole weeks in the north woods of Wisconsin, like no contact with them or anything. But my cabin counselor there, every single morning he would play a CD, and he would play the same song when we were getting ready for breakfast and, just getting dressed and everything. He would play Welcome to Paradise by Green Day. Okay. And we would just sing at the top of our lungs that song, because it I don't know, it just made us feel better that we were not missing our parents as much.
Right.
And so that was really my first introduction to rock music in general, like more the punk rock version of music. And then growing up, after that, I just bought like every single punk rock and pop punk record I could get my hands on. Yeah. And then just started playing in shitty punk bands for a couple years. And then I met Frank. Like Crystal said earlier, that Frank and I had played a show with each other, and we didn't know. And then a couple years later, through a friend at a local hookah lounge that we frequent, the person who worked there was like, "Oh, this band is looking for a bass player." And I was like, "Well, I play bass," because I had been playing bass in bands pretty much my whole life. And then I met up with them there, and I was like, "You look really familiar. Where have I seen you before?" And we got to talking, and then he said this band that he was in, and I looked at an old show flyer popped up on Facebook or something like that, and I was like, holy crap, my band played with their band, and I watched them. And then now we're sitting in a hookah lounge talking about, joining a band. And
no shit.
And so that was, almost 3 years ago now that, we linked up like that. And it was just cool to finally, meet professionally, I should say.
Professionally.
We are not professionals.
If you know us well, you know we're not
We're not
professionals.
professionals, no.
We're still adolescent teenagers at heart.
Hey,
Yeah.
yep. I'm 51 and run around with a 4-year-old all day. So yeah, I know, I get you. I know. It's fun, getting act a fool and playing around. It's great because I stay at home. So excuse me one second. I'm gonna let this dog out the room.
There's not enough love in here for him.
Yeah, he's not being real happy. So let him out real quick. That's a good thing about having a home office.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just automatically happens. It just happens. We might have a 4-year-old run in, we have a dog run in, we have a cat run in. Could happen anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Never know. But I think that's where I met you, up at that hookah lounge about 3-4 years ago. There was a tour coming through with 2 bands from Colorado.
Was it a hookah lounge called Swing State?
I don't remember the name of the place.
That place was a shithole.
It was a shithole. It was a shithole.
Because in that case, that was probably the original singer.
It was.
If it was that.
It was the original singer, but you were there because I think that's where we met. I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I don't remember.
Yeah, because about that long ago, I wasn't in band. I was acting. So if we did meet, I was in like full costume makeup, looking like a vampire with like red and black striped hair.
I think you were there with somebody else.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a promoter or somebody's manager or something, but that might have been where I met because I remember it was at a show, and I'm pretty sure it was the bands from Colorado.
Okay.
I'm thinking. I
know there was a show that I helped out with you guys before. Well, your other band before.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And I
What was
electrocuted
your other band's name?
myself.
Mixed Company.
Yes,
No.
you're on there somewhere
Really?
with Scarlet Canary.
Oh man.
You guys played
ages ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's us.
Wow.
Yes. You played that night
Okay.
with Scarlet Canary, and you guys had to leave. We had to do a quick. I got the video. I got the interview. We had to do a quick interview because you guys had to get home to Wisconsin because the girl was a tattooist.
Oh.
Unknown. I don't answer those.
It must have been Brittany if she had to get a tattoo.
Yes.
She either had to get one.
Or is she doing piercings then?
No, she was doing piercings.
Yeah, because that's
Yes.
That would have been Brittany, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I got the interview. I still got it. It's still on
That's crazy.
our. Holy shit! That's what it was. That's where I met you.
Yeah,
Is what
because
mixed company.
my mom's the
Your mom.
manager.
Yep.
And
It was your mom.
See, okay, crazy story. We're gonna load up. So Chris and I here are the original founders of Mixed Company.
Really?
Yes, we started that band almost 10 years ago.
Holy shit.
Yes, after some members left and everything, kind of restarted the band with Zay
Okay.
as the drummer and Chris, and then a whole bunch of fuckery happened, new members, everything.
Yep.
That's where she got involved, her mom managing, and that's how that all started.
That's where I met you because I met
Yes.
your mother. She said, "Let's go outside and do the interview real quick."
Oh.
You came out with her. I did the interview with you guys real fast, and then you guys had to take off and go home.
Okay.
And then I went back in with your mom and you and finished watching because A Bullet Through the Heart was playing that night too.
Oh, yeah. See, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And eventually, I left that band, and then Chris was long gone by this time. So I left the band, and the band
It's
is
not a good thing going
Yeah.
at that point.
the band is still around. They kept the name, but there's no original founding members anymore.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
My mom still manages too.
Does she really?
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
still talk to her every once in a while on Facebook. Every once in a while, she'll pop up and
Yep, now they're a 3-piece band. The longest running member was like 6 years after the original formation of the band. And
Yeah, so it's crazy. And then basically all the members from that band, is here. It's here. Like this is.
Yeah, we gotta find
Gotta
it.
pull it up now.
Yeah, we gotta find it now. That's
I'm
great.
worried it's gonna be Rito, and I wasn't there. They mixed them up, mixed us up.
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
Oop, I can't spell. My fingers are all.
You know how many times it happens?
Oh, I
though?
know.
Everywhere we go, if somebody knows Frank or the current
Whoops.
bassist of that band, they always mix them up.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, it's.
Rito's way taller than you.
There we are.
Wait, this might be Rito. Might not be me.
Yep, that's Rito.
Yeah, it's
That's
not even
Shane.
me. Oh, yep, that's not. Nope, that's
Nope,
that's
there it
actually
is.
not me.
No, it isn't you.
No,
No.
that-
You had a drone that day, didn't you?
No.
No?
But somebody else that was there did.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. See, that's
There's me. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was not there.
You were not
I
there.
was
they,
not there.
They always get confused, but I was there.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, you were
I was
there.
So by that time, you were in the band.
Yeah, you were in this.
I
You
might have been in
She
that
must have been
band.
in the band. When was that
November
taken?
2017.
2017.
2017.
She
So
would
I
have
just joined this band, but
Yup.
since my mom manages that band and there's some other like personal history from that band, I was like helping out as like for videography and photography, social media, all of that kind of stuff. And I was like their merch girl, and then we started getting more active, and so I was like, can't do that.
Yeah, so that's
But-
how it happened.
But yeah, that's how we met.
Well, yes, and I remember you somehow something about the drummer, and then I remember the girl quitting, and then you joined the Almas, and I even sent you a message and your mother a message like, you want to tell me what's going on so I can let your fans know? And I never got a response, so I didn't know if there was like some bad blood going on or if there was something.
that I'm not sure. Like between like that whole situation, there's a lot of like stuff. there.
Oh yeah.
So-
Oh yeah. There's some crazy stories. Yeah.
Oh
so,
man, that is
yes.
hilarious.
There's
Yes.
it could be a movie.
It
I'm
could
telling
be.
you.
But yeah, that's
See,
that's
and-
our story.
Man, that's crazy. I knew it was.
Yeah.
I knew it was.
I'm just glad.
It's like
Flint stays
Sister
strong.
Wives, but bands. Like that's what it is. It's Sister Wives or like,
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
Yes.
That is crazy.
Yes.
I knew you guys. I knew it. It
Yep.
just, even though it.
It was
was-
me and his twin though.
Yeah, because I think you were doing some video and some photos that day.
Yep.
And your mom was, like I said, I remember your mom really well because she actually sent me the friend request that night. So she can continue talking to me about mixed company and if she ever got another band or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, send me whatever. I don't care. Whatever you get. And then I saw you join, and I'm like, all right, what happened? Because it was just like it was as soon as that show was done, it was like all of a sudden you were. I'm like,
Yeah, because
I
I'm
think-
in this band and it was their singer that ended up leaving
Right.
Yes.
right
yeah.
after that. So that they have their own drama with that. What
Right.
happened with their
Yeah.
singer? But yeah, now she's in Texas and she's doing her own thing
And we actually
down
Really?
there.
on last tour we met up with her.
Oh,
Because-
Yeah,
and
we
we
played with
we
her
played
down
a
in
show with her.
Texas.
Us. Yeah, it was crazy.
oh my god,
Dude, yeah, it's insane the story that surrounds
Wow.
our local
These-
scene in
yeah,
Kenosha.
our
It's
local scene.
insane. Basically, somehow every band pretty much has a tie to these members, right?
Yeah.
Like we,
There's
yeah,
like,
like we.
there's like 3 or 4 bands that started and then branched out to become other bands, like
Yeah.
from the members in that. And
yeah.
Frank, Chris,
Wow.
Zay, like, those are one
Yeah.
of them, and he's more so from like Illinois, like
The
Yeah.
Illinois
music
scene.
So
yeah.
he's not in that incest pool of like Kenosha bands.
Consider
but-
yourself
So,
lucky.
so we're
am very
fortunate
lucky.
to find this one that doesn't have like past ties and all of that. But
God, I'm glad we figured that out because I would have went to bed tonight. I'd be like,
you'd be running
Fuck,
circles. You'd
yes.
be like, I don't get it. I don't get
where
it.
do I know all of them from? I knew it,
That's why.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that is really great because it was when you said the shithole of a hookah lounge. That's because I remember Scarlet Canary. They came from Colorado, bullet through the heart, because they were supposed to have food there that night. There were supposed to be food trucks and stuff there, and they
Yeah.
didn't show up. And some taco guy upstairs, was there. And it was crazy. It was a crazy night. Nothing worked that night. Nothing.
Wow.
Absolutely nothing.
I know the pain.
Yeah. But oh wow, that is really funny. That is really funny.
Yeah, we have to write a book or something to tell the true story of
Be a
this.
horror book.
I know. We got to. We have to.
You know what you
We
could
just
do
need
is
to-
do like a family tree of bands.
Oh my God. It was-
Perfect.
Do you have a piece of paper the size of
Yeah, I was
this
just saying,
table?
you want the table?
It's gonna be Chris and I as Adam and Eve under the tree. Like that's what it's gonna be, dude.
Which one's Adam and which one's Eve?
Oh, he's clearly Eve.
I don't know. They both got long hair.
Yeah. It's 2020. Yeah. There's two Eves now.
It's Adam and Steve.
Adam and Steve. There we go.
What's up, Steve?
What's up, Adam?
Wow, that is really funny. That's funny. That's really funny. So now you're with
The Almas.
the Almas,
Yep.
and it's been a while now.
It has.
Yeah.
We're coming up to our 4th tour. Today was supposed to be day 1 of it,
Yeah.
but starting tomorrow, we're on our 4th tour.
Okay.
Since
In about a year, we've done
Yeah.
4 tours in a year,
Really?
and we've gone across the country fully
Twice.
twice now.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And to the East Coast twice. And at the end of this year, we're going to be going on probably another month and a half to 2 month tour across the United
Really?
States
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool though. I mean, getting
Yeah.
out there and
Yeah, it's now being home feels weird.
Yeah.
That's
I
where
know.
we're at. We're like,
We're yeah, we're in the van. We're like, dude, I can't wait to sleep in here.
Yeah.
I'm
it's so
telling you,
true, man.
24-hour Walmarts are the best things to exist on this planet.
Yeah.
They are, and chicken salad sandwiches
And Milo's
And
iced
Milo's
tea.
iced
Milo's iced tea.
It is the cheapest meal you can get at Walmart. It's like $3.
Really?
Depending on tax, it's like around $3.
really.
Some states without sales tax, it's really nice, like Texas. That was
Texas,
nice.
yeah.
It was like $2.98.
or you go to California,
Yeah.
and then it's like $6.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
We just don't eat or sleep in Cali.
Well, I hear that a lot. That 24-hour. I'll hold that. You don't have to.
I-
I'm doing the interview. But I hear 24-hour WalMarts, strip malls, good to sleep in,
No.
and then everybody chips in and buys a monthly Anytime Fitness.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thing.
Planet Fitness.
Planet
Yeah,
Fitness.
we
What
do
we
Planet
did.
Planet
Fitness or
Fitness.
whatever, and that's where you take a shower. and
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all I hear
Yep.
all the time. So, but to let you know, on our website, I'll show you. We have what's called. All right, that's not. Oh, that's because it's. Let's go here, Asgard Radio. Now, if you go here, it's called Asgard Connect. And you click on it, and it gives you people across the country that'll put you up.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
California. I saw Cali.
Yes.
Sweet.
Texas.
Yeah, Knoxville,
Oh.
Tennessee,
notes.
Harrisburg,
That would have been good.
California,
Jesus.
Tennessee. So if you guys, I mean, I'm still trying to build it.
Hey, John.
Oh, John,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he
Holy
could have put us up tonight.
yeah, he could have.
Wow.
But yeah, if you go on there and let them know that you're coming through.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I'm up there.